Joining me now is former NFL player Lorenzo Booker. Okay, Lorenzo, last week we said Camarillo would win this game. I think we both have egg on our face, right?
Big one.
I know, but big props to St. Bonnie. Before last night, Camarillo only had one loss all season. Then St. Bonnie comes in their house and beats them 28-10. What happened to Camarillo?
You know what? I think a lot of people probably thought that the game was too big for Camarillo, and I can certainly understand how they would think that, but that wasn't the case. And Camarillo came in shortchanged. Kobe Stephen out for the year. Broken tibia last week against Saugus. Frankie Tostada out for the year. An elbow injury a couple of weeks before that against Ventura. So Jay Constantine certainly had a lot on his shoulders with the leadership of his team, and he left his heart and everything else out there on the field. Camarillo played tough. The game wasn't too big for him. But St. Bonnie has been the bully below the grade for the last decade, and they certainly showed that that's not going to change anytime soon. They played well.
Now, St. Bonaventure always has a lot of weapons on the field at one time, but there was one weapon that I don't even think Camarillo was ready for. That was junior running back Chris Santoyo. I mean, the kid rushed for 286 yards and a touchdown. Looking a little like a young Lorenzo Booker, right? That'd be you.
Me?
So you, back in the St. Bonnie days.
I'm just kidding. But the production certainly suggests that he was. I mean, again, as you said, 286 yards, touchdown, and he was asked to do a pretty big job at the beginning of the year, and that was filling for Marcus Chambers, who in my opinion is the best running back in the county. But he did more than just fill his shoes. He ran in those shoes. Again, he did it, and he did it all, inside, outside. He broke tackles and got the tough runs to keep moving the chains. He broke two big runs off, one over 30, one over 60. And the guy had a phenomenal night. Myself and a former, leading rusher in this county, Tyler, was on the sideline. I'm thinking
That's
maybe
right.
he was trying to get our attention a little bit.
I get it. Yes, he was trying to put on a show. Another big night for another Seraph. He had 2 touchdowns. It really should have been 3, and that would be sophomore Liddell Atkins. Let's talk about this kid, and also that punt that he returned that got called back for an illegal block in the back.
I'm going to tell you what. Liddell Atkins, to me, is one of the most phenomenal players that you will ever see in this county. I mean,
wow, that's big.
And I'm not lying. I don't have to tell you to remember his name, because unless you're going to be living under a rock, you don't have a choice. Again, it's not just what you do, it's how you do it. And I haven't seen a kid dominate the game on offense, defense, and special teams since another guy that went to St. Bonaventure, and that's Whitney Lewis. I mean, every time he touched it, it was, if he caught a pass, it was, you just never knew what he was going to do.
Yeah.
I mean, and for anybody, he's going to make them that much better. So again, the worst thing for everybody else is that they've got 2 more years to deal with him. But I've seen that guy, and he's just amazing.
The real deal.
The real deal.
Okay, well, St. Bonaventure, it was a great win for them before they head into next week, which is their bye week. It'll give them a chance to regroup, relax, and prepare for league. Now, in 2 weeks, that means that they'll be taking on Oaks Christian. How do you feel that matchup will go?
Well, the great thing for them is that they'll have Marcus back. I mean, and that is certainly a security blanket that anybody would want. I mean, a guy like that is virtually irreplaceable. But as you spoke about earlier, they have a lot of weapons. LeVan Austin, who's their leading receiver in terms of yardage, he didn't have 1 catch last night. Darius Vines only had a few. So St. Bonaventure has a lot of weapons, as they've had in the past, and I would like to see them during this offseason, during this bye, really focus on getting those guys involved, because league comes around. Now you got Oaks. Now you got Westlake. And when the postseason comes, that's a whole nother monster. So if you're going to beat those teams, you're going to need to use all of those guys.
Your alma mater. All right. Were you impressed last night?
I was. They looked good. They looked good. But again, they're so good and they have so much talent. You just want to see all of those guys get involved, because then we could be talking about Bonnie instead of Polly, or instead of Mater Day like they did before.
Oh,
so
there you go.
a lot of talent there.
Okay, we'll see what happens.